Hello, good people. How you doing? How you been? I'm Arthur Daniels, and yes, I am back again. Let's go ahead and wrap up this loud and clear series because, yeah, why drag a thing on unnecessarily? So at this point, let's conclude with some key point discussions on takeaways that I think would be good from this series. In the beginning, boy meets girl, boy and girl accept one another and agree to begin a relationship. Throughout the course of this relationship, there are things that I did not heed. I saw red flags in his behavior. We broke up and then came back together. I told him I loved him. I gave up the goods, but of course, 5 years, come on, to the extent that I could give up the goods. But we participated in activities. Did information come from that? Absolutely. Did we exchange photographs? Yeah. I brought him gifts. He brought me gifts. I invested in him. He invested in me a little bit. Not high scale because he couldn't afford to. So there are a lot of things that happen in relationships, and you make mistakes and then you choose to forgive. That's what makes a relationship last. So, do I feel bad about that? Absolutely not, because we're all living this thing called life, and that's what it does, and this is what it looks like. Did I realize that he was toxic towards the end? Yes. When I broke up with him one time and I started seeing another man, and he called me incessantly, constantly. So the other guy was saying, "You're still involved with this man. You still love this man. I can't take you seriously." He was right because I was still answering the other person's calls. I was still attentive to the other person, even though I was trying to get away from him. It takes time to break a habit. It takes time to end a relationship, especially if one of the parties really doesn't want the relationship to end because they're happy. They don't care about whether or not you're happy. All they know is they're happy. So as long as they're happy, the relationship can continue. It's unrealistic, but that happens. Other takeaways, things I could be accused of by him but didn't do was lead him on. If we engaged in intimacy, I didn't lead him on. I wanted to participate, so I did. If I gave a little extra when I wanted to, I gave a little extra. Again, it's a thing that does what it does. Did I cheat on him in his mind? Absolutely. In my mind, absolutely not. I'm not a cheater. I'm a one-man girl. If I break up with you and I intend to be broken up with you and then I go off and I do something else, that's my business. If I took you back, then I stopped seeing that other person and it was just, again, one-on-one exclusive. That's not cheating. Did I lie to him? Absolutely not. I always gave him my truth, whether it hurt his feelings or even hurt my own feelings. You're going to know how I feel about a certain situation. If a stimulus makes me feel a certain way, I'm going to let you know. Am I going to label it and say I have every right to let you know? No, I'm just going to let you know. It is what it is. Things I did in this relationship to protect myself, I kept evidence. Now, in making these videos, it could be said, oh, he had her over a barrel and she caved. He told her not to make a video, so she made videos and she's keeping him relevant. It could be looked at like that, but as for me, I'm looking at it like this. He wants to be relevant. He told me not to make videos as a way to control me. He knows that my social platforms cannot be private because as an author, if your platforms are private, then who are you going to expose yourself to? So he's trying to use whatever he can about me against me. I could have given him that power. I could have closed all my platforms up and said, okay, I'm going to make everything private. But guess what? I didn't give him permission to destroy me. You cannot use or destroy anyone without their permission. And that is my opinion. I have always felt that way. So, I kept evidence. These videos are evidence. If this man approaches me in a public space, or if he attacks anything that I'm doing socially or comes against my business to try to oppress me, well, I have evidence that, yes, this is purposely and intentionally done. I don't know if there's a lawsuit about such a thing. I don't know. But if he comes at me physically in these streets and approaches me, I have every right to protect myself against this person. His behavior is irrational, and it's those silent ones that can be very deadly because they sit and they brood. Do I have evidence that he's been sitting and brooding? Absolutely. He sent me all that evidence. I stayed up all night reading old texts and stuff, reliving stuff, refusing to let it go. And I can prove this. And that is actually a threat when you keep coming at somebody talking about, I read this video way back when you told me this and I'm going to hold you to this. No, 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 no. The relationship is over and done, and it would behoove him to walk away. It would behoove anyone when a relationship is over and done to walk away. So to reiterate one more time, I have blocked this person. I have zero communication. When he does send me those emails, I don't respond. I capture the image and then I delete. I have not responded, not once. And I'm not going to, because no means no. And I'm seriously done. I have no emotional connections to this man. I don't love this man. I don't care to see this man. So there's nothing for us to talk about. And when it's over and the other person becomes a non-factor, this is a behavior. You leave them alone. You're not concerned with their life. He could win the lottery tomorrow and become a billionaire. I want nothing to do with him. I don't wish him the best. I don't wish him the worst. It's nothing for me. It's over. It's in the past. It's like drinking a glass of water. Once I consume the water and it exits my body through urine, I'm done with it. I'm not going to go back and try to capture that same old water. I'm not going to not flush the toilet. The toilet has been flushed. When it's over, it's over. And ladies, when you've done everything you can to get away from them, keep your evidence. And also love you enough to not allow him to have anything that he can hold over your head and be a threat to you. Like, yes, okay, I'm a public image. Trying to be, at least. He has some pictures of me. I couldn't care less, because these should be on a billboard. They're fantastic. And this, well, who doesn't have one of those as a female? You can't threaten me by saying I'm going to expose your photographs. You don't want them looking like Bobo the Clown. Go ahead, expose them. And by the same token, I got pictures of you too. I could expose those too. Do you want that? I got some pictures you don't even know I took. Do you want that exposed? You don't want a tit for tat. Girls, never give away all your power. I know I never do, and I never will. That's what self-love looks like. Keeping yourself in a position where nothing you've done can be used against you. So that's my advice to you. Love yourself enough to not let anybody control or manipulate you or hold you accountable to words that you said that now you're like, no, I've changed my mind. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to say no, even after you said yes. Even if you're in the thrones of being intimate and you were participating, and then he does something that you do not like and you say no, he's supposed to stop. That's the way that goes. Nobody owns anybody. I own myself. That's the only ownership there is, self-ownership. Nobody else owns me. So with all of that said, this concludes Loud and Clear. And always use your voice to be loud and clear. Don't let anybody silence you. I'm Author Daniels. Y'all take care, and I'll see you next time.